Goeienaand, dis 7 uur en dit is tyd vir Fokus. Ek is Lenet Francis Peren, baie welkom. Bietjie later in die program besoek ons Rooiwal, waar die mense kla oor die swak toestand van hulle klinieke. En ons hoor by 'n lewensafrigter wat dit beteken as mense se lewens in 'n staat van agteruitgang bereik. Inwoners van White City naby Rooiwal in Kimberley sit reeds sedert 2019 in sak en as. Ongeveer 15 huisgesinne moes hul wonings ontruim nadat die met riool en stormwater oorstroom is. Die inwoners is deur die Solplaatjie munisipaliteit na alternatiewe blyplek verskuif, maar hul huise is tydens hulle afwesigheid gevandaliseer en verder oorstroom. Hulle eis nou vergoeding, maar die Solplaatjie munisipaliteit kyk ander pad. Regisseur Keith Suister het van die inwoners van White City gaan praat.
Woon is eers na Riverton te verplaas en later na Lerato Park in woonstelle. Maar die gemeenskap sê dis onregverdig en onaanvaarbaar dat dit so moet wees, want baie van hulle skuld nog op hierdie huise en dis hoe die huise lyk.
Lake is een van die inwoners van White City wat sy huis inderhaas moes ontruim. Hy en sy niggie Angela Barrett vertel hoe hulle moes sukkel om deur die rioolvuil by hulle huis uit te kom. Kiabetswem is intussen 'n ander huis hier omdat syne nou totaal gevandaliseer is.
Well, it was so bad because the water started rising up, and then we had to move our things around, water inside the house, going to work, going to school. It was a problem. Actually, I had to go in pajamas and boots that I'll change at work because I couldn't walk. It was a river here. So we just had to make lay the bricks around there so that we can walk on them, and we got tired of jumping on top of bricks falling, so it was really bad.
Yes, because I was short. The bricks were far apart. We had to do that because they were short. So I fell into the water sometimes with my school uniform. He had to carry us where he slept as well. We would fall, all of us, like into the water. My mom was also here sometime. So it was a very bad experience. I had to skip school because of that, falling into the drain sewage water.
It's so bad because we tried to talk to them about it. They came too many times. They've been protest about these things, and they come and they give us sweet news, and then we get full of hope and joy that no, they're going to help us, and then they disappear. They promised us that they're going to fix the problem, and then they took most of the people around there to the resort to stay there, saying until we fix. Unfortunately, we're opening a space for thieves, then they vandalized the houses. We came back, they stole everything. They said that they're going to give us forms so that they can repay us. It's been a year, I haven't seen none of that. I had to find a place to stay, now I'm renting a place out from my house. So it's a very bad situation, a bad municipality. I don't know what to say.
Jadine Hugo en haar ouers het vir ongeveer 18 jaar in White City gewoon. Sy vertel dat daar in elke geval 'n probleem met riool was, maar dat die laaste geval die ergste nog was. En nou sit hulle sonder 'n huis.
Ons het so 17, 18 jaar hier gebly, maar in die tyd was die sewage maar 'n probleem. Dis nie die eerste keer, maar dis nou die eerste keer waar dit nou so erg is dat ons moet verwyder was. Ander tye as die sewage gekom het, was maar net vir die dag, miskien het dit ernstig gereën, dan sou die water miskien opstoot en moes ons so vir 2-3 dae miskien net iewers anders dan die water weer gaan sak en dan is maar weer teruggekom. Mense was laat weet, maar niks het ooit gekom met die probleem. Totdat nou by die stadium as dat ons nou is. Is baie hartseer. Soos ek nou hier sit, voel het lyk ek kan net in trane en bars. Ons bly by woonstelle, is so ongerieflik vir kinders. Daar ons het skes, hoe kan ek sê, ons het die beheer oor ons kinders, want is 'n oop beheer, is klomp kinders. Hier wat ons by ons huise was, ons kon ons hekke toesluit, hulle kon nie jaarten speel. Hier gaan ook skes sê, hier was 'n hek of 'n ding, hier was mense hier gewoon nie. Ons skuld nie die bankie. As ons huise ons het niks sonder niks het ons nou eintlik weer nie. Van daar is niks, die huise is weg. Hulle voel daar sê geld om huise te bou nie. Nou reg toe vat hulle ons om hulle plotte wat hulle voel hulle kan vir ons die huise daar opbou. Maar hulle wil vir jou sit waar hulle voel hulle wil vir jou sit. En hier in die erf agter die garage is plotte, maar hulle bring nie die planne van die plotte nie. Hulle bring planne van Gregory's Park. Ek wil nie, hoe kan ek nou sê, charge of wat nie, maar daar is 'n veilige gebied vir kinders nie.
Vuyo Jaga is 'n gemeenskapskomitee lid in White City. Hy sê die probleem met die rioolvuil word reeds vir jare lank oor en oor gerapporteer. Hy sê die voormalige president Thabo Mbeki was ook al in White City om na die probleem te kyk.
This problem started 25 plus years. I am living in this area for the last 23 years. Something like this, it was reported early years, even by the time of the President Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki was here in this very same area, seeking to foresee the problem, that how can we solve the problem. But now, from my understanding, the municipality misled us even today. We are now in 2022. I arrived here in 1998. The problem became worse. And now, to be quite honest, the pump station is the problem, the land is the problem. They even declared it. I have a video footage of the municipality manager who said we are in a wetland. Now that means that within a couple of years to come, this place is going to sink because of, as you can see, the majority of the houses, they themselves, the foundations are gone. So it's just a matter of time.
DALP Delmyn Christian sê sy veg nou saam met die betrokke inwoners van White City sodat hulle ten minste skadevergoeding vir hul eiendom kan kry. Hulle is nou besig om 'n petisie op te stel wat by die premierskantoor ingehandig gaan word.
Keith, I became aware of this plight of the community of White City in 2019. The community called me to White City, and to my utter shock, these 15 homes behind me were knee-deep in sewage. At that stage, all these homes were intact. The roofs were on, the people were basically still living in the homes. However, the sewage was slowly starting to build up. That was the first time I became aware of it, and I started dealing with the situation in Parliament. I did a motion on it, requesting that the municipality urgently look at the situation. I also reached out to the Deputy President during a question session and asked him if he wouldn't urgently accompany me to not only White City, but to the entire community of Kimberley, who is basically drowning in sewage because of the incompetence of the municipality. What these residents want to know is, Keith, what will eventually happen? At the moment, it's 15 homes that have been compromised. However, this problem is now boiling over to the rest of the community. The rest of the community are being impacted as well. So, really, we are looking at compensation. And just recently, I launched a petition with the community. That is ongoing. The petition is being rolled out, and we will eventually hand over the petition to the Premier. I've also seen the paperwork in this regard, that the area has been declared a disaster area. However, the residents are not aware of the fact that it has been declared a disaster area. And if it has been declared a disaster area, what is the next step then, not only for the municipality, but for government? How will they take action if this has been declared a disaster area?
Die Soplaatjie munisipaliteit sê skadevergoeding vir die mense gaan 'n tamaletjie wees, maar hulle het alternatiewe erwe vir die inwoners beskikbaar gestel om weer huise van hul eie te bou.
And the municipality's insurance is refuting claims of compensation. However, the municipality has allocated ovens for them to build. We will, however, further engage with the families to get a way forward, to see how best we can resolve this matter.
Net hierna bly ons in die Noord-Kaap, waar die mense van Rooiwal baie ontevrede is met die toestand van hulle kliniek. Bly gerus ingeskakel. Welkom terug by Fokus. Inwoners van Rooiwal naby Rioolvuil in die Noord-Kaap is kwaad en teleurgesteld omdat hulle reeds vir jare met 'n vervalle en erg gevandaliseerde kliniek sit. Die Noord-Kaapse Departement van Gesondheid het herhaaldelik beloof dat hulle die kliniek sou opknap, maar die COVID-19 grendeltyd het hulle planne blykbaar gepootjie. Intussen word die gebou verder gevandaliseer en as daar nie vinnig opgetree word nie, gaan daar binnekort niks van die kliniek oorwees nie. Keith Suister was weer op Rooiwal en het vir ons hierdie verslag saamgestel.
Wel, dis nou vir meer as 3 jaar wat Fokus die storie van die vervalle kliniek hierso by Rooiwal naby Verskuif vertel. Wel, die departement van gesondheid hier in die Noord-Kaap het op vele kere beloof dat hulle hierdie kliniek sou opgradeer. Intussen sukkel die gemeenskap steeds om siekes en mense wat seer gekry het by hospitale wat honderde kilometer ver is te kry.
Gemeenskapsleier Ringo Isaac sê hy is nou moeg van die leë beloftes wat die Noord-Kaapse departement van gesondheid maak. Intussen word die kliniek net by die dag verder afgebreek.
Departement van gesondheid was hier, beloftes gemaak, hulle gaan terugkom na my toe en ek het gewaag, hulle het gekom in die plek gekom kyk en niks gedoen nie. Tot nou toe sit ons nog in dieselfde probleem. Hier kry mense seer, dan wag ons vir plus minus 3 ure voor 'n ambulans hier uitkom. Ek voel ons gemeenskap lê daaronder, want baie van ons mense is suikerleiers, daar is mense wat gestrem behalf is, wat nie kan teen die padloop sit en hike om by die kliniek uit te kom nie. So as hierdie kliniek in werking kom, gaan dit baie beteken vir ons gemeenskap en vir ons mense wat nie bevoorreg is op 'n voertuig te vat om op te ry na die kliniek toe nie. So dit sal vir my baie beteken as die ding in werking kan kom in 'n stukkie. Ek het gevra vir departement van gesondheid of ons kan 'n security aanstel om die plek te kykie, maar hulle het nie gereageer nie. So die afbreking het net verder aangegaan. Soos Mr. Kiet nou sien, as jy die foto's gaan neem, gaan jy sien in die binnekant van die dakke is die ceilingbord uitgebreek, daar's dakhoude weg en as ons nog langer draai, dan moet ons later sink ook koop. Want as die sinke weg, vensterramme is uitgebreek, alles gaan gebeur. So dit is hoekom ek kan stop om hierdie ding te publiseer. Ons naaste punt, kliniekpunt, die van hier af is 10 kilo's. Ons moet self sien en sorg hoe kom ons daar by 10 kilo's daar op die plek op Verskuif. En ons hospitaal sit 110 kilo's van ons af. En dan word ons opgetel van ons mense. Swanger vrouens word hier gevat, hulle kram die vrou. As die vrou klaar gekram het, word hy net daar by die hospitaal gelos. Hy moet sien hoe kom hy hier.
Anne-Marie Frederik sukkel vir meer as 2 jaar met 'n gebreekte heup. Sy ervaar by die dag erge pyn. Sy sê as die kliniek op die dorp was, sou sy baie vinnig sterk pille kon kry om haar met die pyn te help.
Verskriklik, hier het ek die klems homself afhaal gewees het. Ek kon sy vir die daar kom nie. Ek moes al reeds moet hier. Ek mag ook met enige rijding vervoer word. Het moet het mense. 'n stretcher, ambulans wees. Maar as gevolg wat daar nie 'n stretcher is, het hulle met die ambulansbus, die taxi afgebring. Dis nog nie klaar hier, ek wag nou nog vir hierdie pen. Gister toe moes ek hom afhaal van die verpande raakvuil, om hierdie klems ook uitgehaal gewees het. Hier sit ek nou nog so, van ek kan nie daar kom. Dis die enigste probleem wat ons in sit hier. Spesiaal soos ek voel, verskriklik. Ek kan nie eens vir die hikpad kom. Ek kan ook nie mense teen die pad vra om die binne is 'n probleem. As hier 'n kliniek is, kan ek alles ook 'n halfdag sukkel om by 'n kliniek uit te kom. Maar hier is nie, verskriklik sleg. En kyk hier. Ek loop 'n jaar moet ek hier insukkel met 'n jaar uitkom. Daar is geen hulp. En die dokter sê, as gevolg van hierdie goedsmaak maak my seer. En die pyn moet mens nou hang.
We are quite aware of the historical issues leading to the vandalism of the building itself. But for this financial year, what we have done as a department was just to ensure that we have a proper allocation for the refurbishment of that facility, of which you will understand also that the Department of Health's mandate is just on the delivery of healthcare services. So in terms of the infrastructure issues, the implementing agents in this regard is the Department of Public Works, of which we have done some requests and then submitted all the relevant documentation in line with the scope of work that needs to be attended to. So we are just in a way of following up just to make sure that before end of this financial year, that facility should be operational. Of course, we do have staff complements for that facility. You'd understand that during the time when that facility was vandalized, we had to ensure that at least we allocate our staff for the nearest facility, which is Fieldsdrift Clinic, in the main, just up until that facility issue has been resolved. But that staff is obviously with the full complement of nurses, and clerks and others, they are ready just to serve that community. Going forward, that facility must have a dedicated security, but the team has to go back, of course, just to go and monitor the damage in terms of the scope that was done before, whether if there are other things that necessitate that we must also take into account as we procure the service. But the refurbishment will go ahead as planned after the contractor has been appointed by Public Works.
Bly ingeskakel, net hierna hoor ons wat dit beteken as 'n mens se lewe kwynend of in 'n staat van agteruitgang is. Ons is nou terug. Baie Suid-Afrikaners kla dat hulle tam voel. Hulle sê hulle is nie depressief nie, maar hulle is ook nie heeltemal gelukkig nie. Die afgelope paar jaar was swaar, dit weet ons. Daar was die COVID-19 pandemie met die gepaardgaande inperking. Werkloosheid het toegeneem en kospryse het saam met die brandstofprys die hoogte ingeskiet. 'n Internasionale lewensafrigter beskryf hierdie tam gevoel as 'n staat van agteruitgang of dat mens wegkwyn. Fokus regisseur Julian Reed het met Shannon Walbrun gesels.
What is your understanding of the term languishing?
I'm really glad you asked me about languishing because it's a state of mind that so many people are in these days. We understand what depression is. It's when we're completely despondent. This is when we need medical attention. We know what flourishing feels like. It's when we have meaning in our lives and we matter to other people. Languishing is in between, but it's something we need to pay more attention to. It's when we lose our thrill of living. It's when we can't find any joy in the everyday, and it's a sign that the ball is rolling downhill.
The issue of languishing, but how do we get out of that grip?
Languishing is a place where we're really stuck. And in order to get out of languishing, Yulene, what we need to do is look at our very long list of things to do and choose one. I believe we need to take a micro-action, and that micro-action needs to be exactly the next right thing to do. When we take that micro-action and then we have support and accountability, we can get out of languishing and get towards flourishing.
I think in South Africa, what we're seeing right now is either a lot of people are questioning whether or not they should still remain in their current job. Some might feel uninspired. Some have been unemployed for long or have been retrenched. But just how do you breach that?
I developed this deck of urban angel cards in order to get people to have a clue about what to do first and how to get out of languishing and into flourishing. Can I show you the cards?
Yes,
So these cards are photographs of Johannesburg. Most angel card decks have pictures of beaches and trees and deserts and clouds, and they're very fluffy. But these are things that you are really going to recognize. Do you recognize a traffic signal?
Yes, I do.
This is a yellow light. So what you're going to do is ask a question about what I should do next. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do that? Should I call about that job? Should I resubmit my CV? Should I brush up on my LinkedIn? And then you're going to get a yes or a no.
Okay.
And then you're going to decide what to do. Micro actions with accountability, that's what makes you go from languishing to flourishing. So, do you have a question in mind that you can say publicly that you would be comfortable saying? For example, should I organize my Facebook group so that I can help a lot of people at once?
True, yes.
Is that a good one? Okay, so what we do is we shuffle the cards and we're looking for a yes or a no. Is that the very first thing that I should do? So I'd like you to put your hand on the cards, and then I'd like you to spread them out like this, and the card that is revealed is going to be your yes or no. I'm going to get you to do it because I believe that you have your own answers. So touch the cards and say, how about my Facebook group? Should I organize that Facebook group?
Should I organize a Facebook group for mummies with special needs?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Yes.
Okay, how about that card? That's the one that's been revealed. And the answer is?
Temporary stop, hold, wait. Don't go forward, follow the rules. It will cost you much to break through.
Okay, so hold that card up so that we can see it. It's a red light, but it's a temporary stop. It doesn't mean never do this. It just means that's not the right thing to do today. Remember, we're talking about micro action. Don't get discouraged. That doesn't mean forever.
What types of questions can one ask yourself to amplify your inner wisdom?
When asking a question of my own inner wisdom, when I want to amplify what my inner wisdom wants to tell me, I ask a question that has 4 P's. It's present, it's precise, it's personal, and it's proactive. I never ask a question like, should I move to Japan in 25 years? So many things can change in between now and then. I only ask a question that's about myself and that's something that I could do today.
Give us practical examples that you think that people should be doing.
Well, I think that everyone should have a side hustle. I think that you should have a main stream of income, and I think that you should have several side hustles because you can't, in these days, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So I see people in face-to-face sessions. I also work via Zoom. I also work on the radio. I also have a book. I also have these cards. I have multiple streams of income. I run groups. I have Facebook groups, and I'm developing an app also.
Die kern is Hutsmerk side hustles, #sidehustles. Dis waarop ons het fokus. Ongelukkig is dit al vir vanaand. Onthou, indien jy weens beerkrag of enige ander rede die uitsending vanaand misloop, Fokus is steeds op YouTube beskikbaar. Jy soek onder Fokus SABC en die datum van die uitsending. Jy kan ons ook volg en met ons kommunikeer op Facebook. Die blad is Fokus SABC of volg ons ook op Twitter by Fokus ZA. Baie dankie vir die saamkyk. Ons hoop jy kan volgende Woensdag aand om 7 weer by ons aansluit hier op SABC 2. Rustige aand verder. Totsiens.